Welcome to the Underbelly Podcast, brought to you by Clarity Financial, as we peek underneath, poke around, and expose the unexposed stories of the week about finance, economics, politics, and life. I'm Brent Clanton, executive producer of The Lance Roberts Show and The Real Investment Hour. We wanted to create a forum for exchanging stories, ideas, and anecdotes that deserve more in-depth, unfiltered conversations, plus allow you a glimpse behind the scenes. As always, we welcome your feedback. Find us on Facebook or online at realinvestmentadvice.com. Now, let's step inside the studio for the Underbelly Podcast, starting now. And good afternoon. Richard Rosso, John Coumarianos, and Brent Clanton with you on the Underbelly Podcast. Thanks for watching, and we'd love to hear from you. If you want to interject into the conversation, you can do that on our Facebook page and realinvestmentadvice.com. So we'd love to hear from you. Lots going on. Lance, yesterday evening in the Real Investment Hour show, said that today would be a make-or-break day on Wall Street as we prepare for next week's the Independence holiday, so it's kind of a weird trading week. Mm-hmm. How are things going so far, John?
Pretty well. I see the Dow's up over 250 points. That's a little over 1%. NASDAQ is up a lot as well, so markets are pretty strong today. I think for the year now, the S&P must be up a little over 2%. Bonds have done a lot better. They were down 2%, and now they're down 1.5%, so bonds have rallied. And boy, REITs and utilities have come all the way back. REITs at their nadir were down 10% for the year, and now they've come all the way back to even. They might be up 1% after today.
I think, as Lance had pointed out, probably, 4 or 5 months ago, that we had topped out in the 10-year, where the top out of the rates were going to be based on the 10-year Treasury, and he nailed it. And that's, I think, first of all, with a little bit of the uncertainty in the markets, but also the fact that maybe yields have topped has really helped these dividend plays or these bond, I hate to say bond-like investments because they're not, but they're proxies.
They trade like bonds.
They trade like bonds, so it's been the sector rotation into them has been very great. And again, today, I think the news about the bank set the tone. Right, so they can go ahead and keep ripping everybody off. Right. Very cool. And they can buy back shares and declare their dividends and do whatever they want because everything is great. So that really set the tone nicely. And I'll tell you, financials were troubling me here for a while. Last 2 or 3 weeks, not good.
Right.
Now they're actually they're a sector leader today, along with materials and tech. So it's helped out quite a bit. Just shows you that the sector rotations can happen fierce. And you've got to have rules no matter what you do, because stuff comes up on our radar to maybe liquidate or move away from or to add, and we wait for. We just don't take action right away. We look and see. Yeah. But things come up on our radar, and financials definitely have done that. But we'll see.
Is this
Yay, America.
Dynamic? Yeah. Woohoo! MAGA.
Yay, banks. Make banks great again.
Right. Hey, is it just me, or are the banks nickel and diming us? I mean,
they're
that's a rhetorical question.
Yes, absolutely.
I got a notice in my email from my mortgage
company. You should walk into
company.
a bank backwards. You really should, because you're getting it
without the ski mask.
And you've been getting it for a long time. Yeah. So
no, I got an email that they're going to start charging at my mortgage company is going to start charging me to make a one-time payment. Yes, I do not do the auto debit for my mortgage.
Whoa! So
I want to make sure the money is in the account before I send it. So they're going to start charging like $3.
Yeah.
No, it's $3. But still. It's nickel and diming all over again. I got a notice in my water bill. Forever, we've been asking our mud district to allow us to make online payments. You write a check every month, the old-fashioned way. So they finally said, yes, you can now do it.
For $3.
For $1.75,
Everybody's charging 99 cents.
Yeah.
It's a 99-cent economy.
But you know what the topper is?
What?
And I was going to ask Sam to come in and tell us about this. Samantha, our VP of First Impressions, went to a concert last night at the Woodlands. Okay?
Boy, that's a yoga pant.
Live Nation is the ticket purveyor.
Yes, that's right.
Okay?
Yes.
They charge a $20 convenience fee on a $25 ticket.
Handling
on a
fee it's called
$25
sometimes.
Yes. $20 on a $25 admission ticket.
How about that?
In my neighborhood,
some pretty.
that was called Big Joey. And he'd shake you down. Yeah.
You know, I can't imagine why Congress hasn't investigated Live Nation.
Yeah, really.
Or Ticketmaster. Because they've got like a bird's nest on the ground.
Yeah.
They're the only guys you can buy tickets through in America.
Well,
and so they can charge you anything they want.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I just got a notice from my apartment building. They actually want me to pay the rent online now, so I've got to sign up for this today.
Oh,
and because if I hand the check into someone, you know, at the desk, at the front desk, they're actually going to charge me a $35 fee.
$35?
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to force you to.
That'll force me to go online, right?
I'll show you, and I'll pay that $35.
Boy, no kidding. Well, that kind of segues into this little piece that Richard sent me early this morning.
Well, I wasn't done with the Woodlands yet.
Oh, you're not? Okay, well, let's finish up with the Woodlands.
Well, I found what I think are children's detention centers up there.
Uh-oh.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's where the MILFs bring their kids.
Yeah.
And, I mean, again, the food sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the people that sort of run the place are very cold and mechanical. It's called Chuck E. Cheese. That place is a petri dish of bacteria.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done with that. Let's go on.
That's it? That was it? That was the whole Woodlands?
I thought maybe we were going
to... It really fizzled at the end.
Take off on Toys R Us, which is closing today.
I know. I saw that. Did you see that picture of Jeffrey in his horrible shirt? That's a horrible... Let me tell you, that was the worst Jeffrey costume I've ever seen. Well, it made me feel good that actually Toys R Us was closing.
That's because they sold the rest of them.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like the over-leveraged, over-indebted Jeffrey. Like, he's got a lime green suitcase, and he's got a shirt that looks like it's come from the thrift store. It doesn't. It's a Hawaiian shirt that, you know, it doesn't fit just right.
It's all the stuff that didn't sell off the shelf before they closed the store.
Yeah, Jeffrey looked a lot better before private equity got a hold of him. Let me tell you. Woo.
As do we all sometimes.
Yep. He's walking into Toys R Us backwards, Jeffrey. End of an institution there.
Yep. It really, really is. I'm a Toys R Us kid. I don't want to grow up.
Well, you know what? You could tell the signs were coming along because look at what happened with KB Toys. All these toy stores just started to close down.
Yeah.
Toys R Us was the last bastion of plastic and G.I. Joes with kung fu grips. It's all over now.
So I wonder what skills Joffrey needs to survive.
Well, he needs a better clothing designer for sure.
A better agent.
Yeah.
So you sent me this piece.
Yeah.
The skills needed to survive the
Visual
robot
Capitalist is one of the best
invasion of the workplace.
You see, it's not maybe robots. We should be embracing them like we do that little mechanical mouse at Chuck E. Cheese, right? Because you're really going to need to assist robots or be part of it. It's a synergy. It's a kumbaya together thing. It's not robots against us. I mean, it's not Terminator. Okay, it's more of what jobs in the future and are going to require skills for you to operate and work with robots, because robots are going to be there to assist, not take over. That's what they said in the first Terminator. Until everything was, you know, they're crushing skulls in the street and stuff. Yeah.
Now, a disclaimer on this. This is put together by a job placement company. This report.
No, that's true.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's an
well, they're
interesting
placing
list.
jobs.
Sure.
So, but the point is, I can't remember some of the jobs that were on there. Pretty interesting, I think, overall.
Well, what it boils down to, if you want to succeed, you got to have the human touch. You know, I mean, a machine can only do so much. Yeah.
Well, the one thing we're not focused on in colleges is obviously complex problem solving. That's one of the skills you'll need. Critical thinking. Forget that. People
Again,
who
that's
turn
not
data,
happening on college campuses
either. As soon as you see a sentence that says people who can turn data into insightful interpretations, we're doomed. Okay, that's when you know the robots are taking over. Creativity. Okay, I don't see much of that. I think this report's telling us we're in trouble. People management, we hate people.
Right.
5, coordinating with others. Oh, goodness gracious. Have anybody checked out Facebook lately? Emotional intelligence. I'm still 12.
Yeah.
This is not going to work. So, in other words, all these skills that I'm seeing, the only one I have here is service orientation. Although my flexibility is not cognitive, but it says that. So, I mean, there are skills here that still 99% of Americans probably can't fulfill. So get that immigration going, President Trump. We need people who can be emotionally intelligent. Wait, who am I asking? Holy moly. What did I just say?
They put a list out of jobs that have like a good chance of automation versus those that do not. For example, a telemarketer, 99% chance that's going to be automated. It's already there. I get a robocall 5 times
I don't
a day.
understand when they call me anyway.
Yeah. Right.
I got a call from some debt collector yesterday from some country I can't understand that I owe a bill on something. And I'm like, yeah, what? And I just kept the guy on the phone because I couldn't understand what he was telling me.
Yeah.
I'm from Genesis Marketing. You owe money. You owe money to us. You owe... I'm like, I'm sorry, but who the hell are you?
Yeah.
But,
go away. Tax preparers.
Tax preparer automation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Insurance underwriter.
Sure.
Bookkeeping clerk. I mean, stuff that you would think. But, again, chance of automation when you look at, obviously, teachers, dentists, registered nurses, that these are going to be where people skills are going to be important, right?
Yeah.
Architect, sales manager, pharmacist, CEO. I think you can
advisor.
replace a lot of CEOs with zombies, frankly. Computer systems analyst. There will be a place. You just got to be prepared for what changes are coming. Real estate broker. Are we on this list?
Yeah.
We're on this list, I'm sure. Financial analyst.
Well,
where are we on this? Real estate broker, 97%.
They really didn't. There
you go.
You know what? If 97% of real estate brokers are going to be removed or the chance of automation is going to affect them, my Facebook's going to go down to 0 friends. I mean, everybody's a realtor here.
Really?
Oh, let me guess what you're a realtor. Yeah. You're a realtor. Yeah. Okay.
Last week we talked about that company that was buying up properties just so that they could sell them.
Yeah, with Andrea Riquier from Market Watch. Yeah, that's the way things are moving.
But what doesn't go away out of all of these skills, and what's going to go away and what's going to stay, or what real robots are going to add or enhance our lives allegedly? It all comes down to the people skills. And the emotional connect.
That's right.
No matter what.
That's right.
Those are skills those soft skills are going to always be, in case you need to negotiate with the robot and give the robot a break.
Right.
You know who's going to have an edge on that? Older folks.
Yes.
That's
because
true.
of the experience and the ability to apply that experience to various situations that these younger folks haven't had yet.
Yeah, they don't know how to do that as well.
Likely won't.
Yeah. The only problem with the older folks is they need a lot of bathroom breaks. And that's going to piss everybody off. No pun intended.
Right.
So, but it just shows you the people or the human connect is still important to get things going. There are people who act like robots. That doesn't work. It just does not work. So again, there's going to be a place for you. You just got to be smarter.
Yeah.
But you always start with the people skills. I told my daughter at 16, she started working at HEB and all this place. Listen, I said, you've got to get to know people, work with the public. She's now convinced she never wants to do that again. But you know, she comes back with some funny stories. She works at a restaurant in the Woodlands. And she looks weird because she doesn't wear the yoga pants. But she, she comes up with all these interesting stories of people who come in and demand tables even though they don't have any reservations.
Right, yeah.
And that sort of stuff. And it's always the old folks. Like, the old folks feel entitled. Like, I need a table now. I always get to sit.
Yeah.
And, you have to listen. The table's reserved. You should have called.
You don't know who I am.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Do you know who I am? Yeah. That's
Where's your bathroom? I'm going to annihilate that for you. So, yeah. I mean, but she's learning a lot about dealing with the public, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Those skills will serve her.
Right.
But it's an interesting story. And Visual Capitalist, the website that puts these out, because I've subscribed to them, or at least I'm on their mailing list.
It's good stuff.
They do a great job putting all the pictures, the visuals together. They really do a great job of it.
Well, it helps me because I always work better with pictures.
Well, it's just the way, the way they just get them all. Yeah, me too. Me too. I did that with my dad's Playboys. He used to hide them, but I always worked well with his pictures. But I did. I used to find them no matter where you put them. I was like Columbo. Okay? I knew exactly where how did he find that? So I found them. But it's just the way they present the data is very effective. So take a look at these guys. They're really good. Yeah.
All right. Very good.
John hasn't said much.
No.
John, let him handle the next
John's
segment.
kind of had a busy week, you know.
Few clients. Yeah. Was on the radio last night.
He was.
And I've written 3 articles this week. So,
hey, that's
what have you done
good.
for us lately?
Yeah. Be careful. We could automate that, you know.
Where is Dish, Texas?
Dish.
D-I-S-H.
I don't know.
No, you know what? You will. If you die here, you can. Last thing you're going to say is, "Whew." Well, maybe one of the last things you're going to say is, I didn't realize that town was right there in front of me. I mean, this place is so huge.
Yeah.
You cannot begin to navigate or search all the different little towns that are around.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, here we go. So this is an article in the Wall Street Journal.
It's just southwest of Denton.
Okay.
West of I-35.
Okay.
It says the Texas well. This is a headline from the Wall Street Journal. The Texas well that started the fracking revolution. Apparently, it's in Dish. Is that the first?
Really?
The first
well? Fracking well?
Yeah.
Way back when? Does it say?
It's just 20 years, 2 decades ago. An engineer tried a new way to get gas out of the ground. Energy markets and global politics would never be the same.
I thought that fracking had been around longer than that.
Yeah, I thought so too, actually.
I think the concept of it had been around longer, but I think it was actually put into. I mean, that was actually put to fruition. Maybe about 20 years ago.
The technology advances in the last 10 years,
amazing,
is what has brought it to the forefront.
Yeah,
but I thought they'd been doing it for a lot longer than that.
Yeah, no, it says 20 years. Nothing at the time suggested the unassuming well in this rural town north of Fort Worth would hobble OPEC, the powerful oil cartel that had governed prices of the world's most important commodity for more than a generation.
But they make a good chicken fried steak there, too.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, there's nothing like going into some little town, and then there's the town square.
Right.
And looking for the word cafe. Where is that? Cafe.
And every city square has one.
And they're all awesome.
Yeah.
You were in Luling this week, right?
I was.
Are you going
at
back
112
this weekend?
degrees. I don't know. I go back a lot, so I've been taking photos, doing my little photo essay tour of Luling, all the nooks and crannies. And along the way, I really would like to go back to Woody's Smokehouse. Another very cool place.
Okay.
Have you been there in a while?
Not in a while.
Yeah,
that's the barbecue joint in Luling.
Yeah, but no, it's not in Luling.
Oh, no.
This is before you hit. This is a smaller place.
Okay.
They're becoming like a Buc-ee's Light. They have all kinds of cool stuff, but they have jerky and they have. They're just a lot more down home-ish.
Yeah.
Mom and pop-ish. But awesome barbecue there.
Do they have Wi-Fi at Woody's?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we should take the Underbelly on the road one day.
There you go.
That'd be great.
And we'll just take our smartphones and we'll do the Underbelly from Woody's Cafe.
Yeah, and have some barbecue. And,
that would be
a live report.
Yep.
Maybe we might even have electricity there. Yeah.
You know what I like about Luling is the way that they've painted the pump jacks to look like animals and
really?
Well, I put that on Instagram, but I have to take more pictures. Well, yeah, they take the pump jacks and they turn them into pictures. They have football players and little like strawberry shortcake looking girls, and they've created art out of them.
It's very cool.
Yeah, they've created art out of those pump jacks, and obviously the water tower is a big watermelon. You know that, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Seedless, though, I think.
I don't know. Best black diamond watermelons you get in Luling. And the best tomatoes. My God, I would drive an hour and a half just to pick up the tomatoes again. Amazing.
Well, you'll have to because that's how long it takes to get out there.
That's what I mean. Yeah. It's worth the drive. And you hit Woody's along the way.
What's the barbecue joint in Luling that you like?
City Market.
City Market. Okay.
It is the best.
Yeah.
When we went to the Thump, we waited online, and it took about 45 minutes, which is not too bad to get the food. But it is hot as heck in there, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But you don't care. You do not care. Amazing. So Great little town. But there are a lot of great little towns in Texas. To me, see, I love Houston in a lot of ways because of the people, but it's not Texas to me. Once you start heading out I-10 or heading out into the arteries in these little towns and you hit these cafes, you really see Texas.
Well, and
you really get a feel for it.
I've said this before. Anytime I've got to go to Dallas or San Antonio, and I'm not in a hurry, I do not take the interstate.
You take the back.
I take old US 75.
Yes, I've heard. I've not done that.
I take
How interesting
Highway
is that?
90 west.
I bet you hit a lot of old Dairy Queens.
Well, you
and other
do.
cool stuff.
And you pull over to get gasoline, and you're hungry. You go into the Brookshire Brothers store to get, and people are even more friendly than they are in Houston, because Houston is a pretty friendly place, I've found.
Is it?
But in the small towns along the way, it's even better.
Wow, nice.
And what's cool about Texas, it's probably not just the Texas thing, is that there's always one guy in the town, in each town, that in 1945 left his truck in a field and left, just dropped it off, and the truck's still there.
Right.
And all the parts.
Yes, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever's left of
Nobody
it.
stripped it.
I mean, I find the most awesome old vehicles that have just been left there from all different.
Right.
You wish you had a little cash fund that you could just go buy them and haul them back and have somebody
you could
rebuild
just haul
them
them as long as the person on that land doesn't shoot you.
Right. It sounds like Elvis's plane that has just been abandoned,
right?
Yeah.
On the New Mexico field, yeah.
Exactly so.
It's amazing what you'll see in these fields. I'm telling you, I'm amazed by some of the homes that people live there. I want to knock on the door. Can I look inside your house, please? I've got to see what's going on in
Well,
here.
and these cargo crates that have become the in vogue to build your houses out of.
Yeah.
I don't see any of those. I see really old houses.
I've got a buddy that bought a couple of those and welded them together, and that's where they live, and it's kind of an ongoing project.
It looks pretty cool.
Is it? It's actually remarkable.
Is it here in Houston?
No, he lives out towards Navasota.
Okay.
Between whatever the break is there.
One day you got to go to College Station too. Then
yeah.
But I have a place that I invest in over there. It's a bar. It's just a great town.
Yeah.
It's just a great town. And you take the back way, you'll hit Navasota.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the other areas. Are there some famous people from Navasota or who lived in Navasota? Not George Strait. Was it Chuck Norris or some high profile person I thought lived in Navasota? A couple of.
I know Sally Williams.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody knows who that is except my friends.
Okay.
But yeah.
She sounds famous.
She's wonderful. We'd have to do a little research on that.
Yeah, but John's going to get a kick out of it because of where he's lived.
Yeah.
He's going to really get a.
John, we got to drive Loop 390.
Okay.
Do you know about 390?
Uh-uh.
This is La Bahia Highway, and it starts just north of Highway 105. Above Chapel Hill.
Okay.
It goes through Independence, Texas.
Okay.
You know
All
about
right.
Independence, Texas. That's where Sam Houston's wife is buried.
Okay.
Because he would make sure she was buried away from him.
Right.
Yeah.
The original Baylor University site is there.
Right.
And you can continue on west on 360. It crosses Highway 36, and it finally truncates at Burton.
We should do a version of the Texas Reporter, except with John.
Yeah. Let's do that.
That's a great show.
It is.
But just do it with John. Like, what the hell is that? It would just be a totally different experience.
At Burton is the oldest cotton mill.
Ooh. Well, that'd be interesting to see. Yeah.
And I think it's still in operation.
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't want to.
I'm looking at notable people from Navasota.
Yes.
Huh?
Navasota notables?
Navasota notables. Alvin Ailey. Dancer.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Who would have thought?
Kathleen Blackshear, artist. Clay Condrey, major league pitcher.
Yeah.
See?
Virgil Ned Garvin, another pitcher. Frank Harner. I don't know who that is. Christine Jones, former Maryland legislator. Okay. I don't know. Chuck Norris, martial artist. There you go.
Aha. There you go.
Yep.
I knew it was one of them.
Yeah.
And a guy named Joe Tex, who they list as a soul musician.
Ah.
Joe Tex, yes.
You'd want to live in Navasota just because Chuck Norris probably protects the whole town. We don't just unlock our doors. We don't have any doors on our homes.
Norris Security Agency. The architecture in Navasota is very cool too. Lots of old
yes.
houses.
I mean,
Okay.
Yes, and old buildings. I mean, but you get that in a lot of Texas
Small
towns.
Texas
If you
towns.
just go to Schulenburg or Weimar or any of these towns along I-10, or as you go throughout Chapel Hill, and you just, I mean, it's amazing.
I
really.
spent a week at Welder one day.
Did you really?
You know where Welder is?
I do.
When we were kids, my aunt and uncle and my parents were very close.
How'd you get out there? Horse and buggy?
Well, we decided that we were going to go on vacation together, and we all piled into my dad's 1960 Volkswagen Beetle bus.
Wow.
Not a Beetle, but a bus.
A bus, yeah.
Loaded down with camping gear.
Used to call that a hippie bus.
Yeah. Well, it was,
Bad you don't have that.
had 10 people in it.
Wow.
All right, and a dog.
Pop still have
And
it?
all of our camping gear. No, because we blew a piston cylinder at Welder.
Oh.
And we pulled in and parked at the school grounds.
This is
and
like
this
the beginning of a horror movie.
This was 4th of July.
Was this the
So
Texas Chainsaw Massacre story?
The entire town was closed. Oh.
Yeah, and the two buildings there were closed in 1960.
And so Dad and my uncle had to go back to Houston to get our 56 Chevy and a trailer so we could continue the trip. And the rest of us stayed with the broken down vehicle at the schoolyard in Welder. And I think we bought every dreamsicle in the only convenience store that was open that day.
bet.
And ate 'em
What
all.
the heck was there? Probably the same amount of stuff
Nothing.
that's there now.
Yeah.
Frankly, I mean, a lot of these towns, some of them, Luling, I'm surprised at the growth. I'm a little surprised, but some of these towns probably look the same as they did in
Well, it does.
1960.
It does. But, Luling's got a very vibrant Chamber of Commerce, very active
They're
Chamber
very
of Commerce.
strong. Yes, they are. They promote. They do a good
Yeah,
job.
I went to the oil museum.
The oil
there
museum's
one
awesome, by
time,
the way. Yes.
Made the mistake of registering in the guest register.
get
I
a-
got emails for months afterwards from the Chamber of Commerce,
how about
which,
that?
by the way, is just adjacent to the museum.
They have a great art. They do a junior league art.
Yes.
They have an art exhibit there. You buy the
I
art.
think
It's beautiful. It's right in Main
juried,
Street,
isn't it?
Yes. It's very
very
cool.
good.
Nice.
It's a great town. I love it.
What is the
Smells
deal with
bad, but it's
Marfa, Texas? M-A-R?
Marfa, the Marfa Lights.
I when I was driving here from California, I had a friend from graduate school say you should stop in Marfa if you can. I didn't have a chance. I wanted to make it here as quickly as possible, but apparently it's just are hipsters there, or it's a kind
if you ever get
cool.
to watch a great old movie called Giant, which is an incredible movie, by the way.
Yeah.
With James Dean and Elizabeth Taylor and Rock Hudson. That was filmed in Marfa.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And their home, I can't remember the name of the house, what it was called, but there was actually the framework had still been in Marfa, like just the wooden framework of the set had been there for so many years before it finally fell apart.
Wow.
What, the House of Blue Lights? No, that's another song.
No. It's whatever the house was called in Giant. But Giant's a great Texas. It's really just a cool movie. But they filmed in Marfa. But there's so many great stories about how Elizabeth Taylor was dying from the heat and all that. But Marfa's become a very arts,
Yes.
Yeah,
food,
kind of a hip town, right?
Hip town,
Yeah.
like an Austin kind of feel to it.
More gritty than Austin.
But they have older buildings, and they have a great hotel, and it's supposed to be haunted. But these are all, I tell people all the time, even when I'm on TV, I'm like, listen, you want to travel to all these exotic places in the summer. I know you're used to the heat anyway.
Texas has it all.
Texas has a lot of
really
interesting,
does.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
Really.
Did you happen to notice when you crossed the escarpment coming down off the Cap Rock?
I don't think so. It might have been nighttime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you know what to look for when you cross that, that's mind-blowing.
Okay.
Because it's this huge geological formation and goes for as far as the eye can see in both directions when you cross over it on the highway. It's just amazing. Marfa, Alpine, that's where Sul Ross University is.
Okay.
That is just so quintessentially Texas.
Yeah.
Especially West Texas. That it's you got to go there.
Yeah.
And you got to spend some time at the Alamo. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
It's really.
Before somebody ruins it.
Well, actually, I was there not too long ago, maybe about 2 months ago, and they've really enhanced it. It looks great.
They've been talking about doing all these things that are
Well, they created a little theater. I mean, there's a lot of
non-Alamo.
education stuff going on there.
Yeah.
But
Well,
but
good.
the interior of the Alamo needs a lot of work. And did you see when they started to strip down the walls what they found?
Yes.
Graffiti from all the soldiers that were housed there during, I don't know what
The
year,
siege.
60s. Yes. No. But it also
Afterwards.
became a
in the 1860s.
facility. No, it was in 19 50s or 60s, but
Really?
it was purchased by the military, and it was housing soldiers at the time, and they had written who they were and their names. But when they started to strip the walls down, they started to see what was underneath. But
When you walk in that building, though, it's as quiet as a church.
yes,
People don't talk
yeah,
because they know what went down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And it's amazing.
yeah. I think if they've done a lot to improve it, and the grounds look great. So I'm glad that, and you can donate to the association there.
yeah.
That's which I did.
Absolutely.
But it's a good visit.
You know who's a big fan of Texas history and the Alamo is Phil Collins.
Yes,
Really?
he's
Wow.
got the greatest He's just donated
A ton of stuff.
to the Alamo.
Artifacts.
But he
you know.
had quite a bit. He was
Yeah.
like he's an Alamo freak.
Wow, interesting.
Really
And he was
amazing. When
just over there, I think, last month.
Oh.
Yes.
Donating some more artifacts that were in his personal collection. And now they're on display. There's stuff there. There's stuff in the museum at the base of the San Jacinto Monument. And there's stuff at the Texas History Museum up in Austin as well.
Oh, nice.
But
So-
he's a big fan
Yeah.
of Texas history and the Alamo.
Oh, how about that?
It's very, very
they actually
cool.
set up just says here that they set up his collection at the Alamo. And in 2014, he donated quite a bit too, and he was there. So yeah, absolutely amazing what he's collected from the Alamo. And he was fascinated with the Alamo as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, watching Davy Crockett, Bess Parker, and all that, and he fell in love. And there is a romance to the Alamo.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have all these Alamo books, and I started reading religiously. I've got the Alamo Reader. It's literally this thick. It's just amazing,
Yeah.
and to look at the grounds and what's transpired. I think the Alamo was trying to purchase some of the property on the. They're trying to expand it to what it really was before, because now it's just the main area.
Yep.
But they're trying to expand it and get rid of all those campy places like Ripley's, and
I'd be for that.
I would be too.
Yeah.
I would be just to really restore
Make
what
it look
was.
like what it looked like in 1834.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without all the blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Say, I wanted to mention one other thing before we run out of time here, and that's our second article on
Yes.
Fragile in America. And this is from the National Endowment for Financial Education.
Great site, great organization that keeps track of things.
What an amazing article. Nearly 2 in 5 Americans are living on the financial edge. And I know this is something you're a big advocate of, Rich.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Global Financial Literacy Excellence Center, GFLEC, they're at George Washington University, and they define financial fragility as your inability to cope with an immediate $400 expense, or within 30 days you need to raise $2,000 and you can't do it.
Yeah.
So they do a survey. So now it shows that 36% of respondents could not, or certainly could not, come up with $2,000 if an unexpected need arose in the next month. That's better than it was during the Great Recession, which is 50%, but it's still
not great.
36% cannot raise $2,000
Yeah. It's really
for a
staggering.
medical emergency or something along those lines.
And that's either having it in reserve or having a line of credit that they could access. You can't do it.
Yes.
So not even a line of credit, not even
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
that makes it
And I was amazed at
considerably
how many
worse.
people still don't have bank accounts.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot higher than
If you're in the
than
income
expected.
range of $35,000 to $50,000, they said households with annual incomes within those ranges, they're far more likely to be financially fragile. They're close to 43%.
Yeah.
And then there's this
Unfortunately,
alternative.
that group has not seen wage growth.
Yeah.
Right.
There's this alternative reality out in California where they just established the minimum poverty level wage is $117,000 a year. What?
In San Francisco?
And
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it makes
That's
sense.
nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
No wonder people are leaving.
Yeah. You can't afford anything in San Francisco. You can't afford to live in San Francisco on that wage, and it's a good wage anywhere else.
Oh yeah, you live like a king on that here.
It's double the median national income. Yeah.
So
They're also
Rich,
showing those who are financially literate
Uh-huh.
and understand debt and liabilities and assets, and those people that are actually, if you have this literacy, it lowers the likelihood that you're going to be financially fragile.
Right.
We just do a horrible, horrible job at teaching money in this country.
Well, and
it's
that was-
amazing. I've seen other countries, and I am impressed with what they do. Canada and some other countries that do amazing work. Germany is one of the best on teaching kids on how to save. And I wrote a whole article for Real Investment Advice, how America's lost its ability to save, but a lot of it's financial literacy. And when we started, like when we were kids, it started, we had people from the bank come to school and collect in the passbook, savings account, and stamp it. And we were very intimate with money. We understood, and we just don't see it anymore. But certain countries, saving is a virtue.
Yeah, you had when we were growing up, you had family members who had first-hand experience of the Depression. Yeah,
that's right.
They lived through it.
So they taught you.
You knew someone who lived through it.
Yeah.
And
So it's.
So that's the key to breaking.
It helps a lot based on the studies
abuse
that have been done on financial fragility in the U.S. Yeah. Yes, and the NEFI and these organizations do a great job just giving us the pulse. We always get a lot of the data about the 20% of the population that are doing great, thanks to the stock market and housing values.
Right.
But, we've got a majority of people who are just getting by, which is why we've had such an anemic. I know this is like the 108th month of economic recovery, one of the longest in history.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we go out another year, and it'll probably be the longest in history. There's a subset of individuals. They're still not.
They're not feeling any recovery.
Right.
Because they're income based. Anybody who's that lives off income as opposed to capital gain, within the median income range or below, are just having a challenge. Although those numbers have improved over the last few months. That I've noticed, lower income households, there's been some recovery or improvement.
Some boost in income. Yeah.
Maybe there's some more security in their jobs.
Yeah. Well, we get into these conversations about the school business and our local districts and what they're teaching our kids or not teaching our kids. And I think that the key to this is getting that back into the schools. How do we do that? Instead of basket weaving or whatever the heck they want to teach these kids, how do we get financial education back into the public schools at an age where it makes a difference?
It should be a core.
It should.
It should be a requirement,
along with science and math. And again, I know some school districts that actually do a good job helping kids balance checkbooks, and it's a part of what they do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. I try to help as many kids as I can and help them to learn, help the parents with the kids. Listen, the resources are out there. Even if, as parents, you take control of it, the resources are there to do it. And it doesn't take much if you can find them. I have a whole slew of websites that people can go to and learn and help their kids. But it's just the fact that it doesn't seem to be a focus.
It doesn't seem to be a
There's
priority.
Not a concerted effort.
There's so much debt, and it doesn't seem to be a priority to teach people how dangerous it can be. And
at least even when Professor Bodie was on at BU, and he said, he brought up an idea about maybe having a personal finance curriculum, and got squashed. He's like, nobody cares. And I'm like, wow. He actually just tried to do it. So...
Well, and I know you're a big statistics and numbers guy too. Are there numbers that illustrate the difference between societies that have that education and those that don't, and how better
it just
or
shows you
worse
on the
they
studies
do?
just from George Washington University when they define financial fragility, and they see numbers improve dramatically or pull away from fragility when there's more financial literacy.
Yeah,
the numbers make a marked change. So that's. Again, I think people are intimidated. I think the financial industry has failed in many ways.
I think in
because
some ways
of how they treat.
Sad to say, it's in the interest of the financial industry to
that
have
you remain ignorant.
less literate people. Yes.
Well, I can see that.
That's the problem, and the financial industry has a heck of a lot of political influence.
I can't sum it up better than that. Why do I want these groups to be smarter? Really, I need them to depend on me, and if
I'm charging 15 to 20% on credit cards. I want people to do that. I don't want them to be smarter about that. It's too bad.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's more of a grassroots.
Yeah, it's not
household
going to
by
come
household.
from the top. Yeah.
We did it in our households.
Yeah.
Because again, to John's point, we had grandparents, and close relatives that had gone through the Depression and said, "This is what you do."
Yeah.
But the institutions also, I guess, maybe some of the people who ran the local institutions also were through that, so they thought it important to actually go into the schools and talk about, like, at that point, like, your bank was your friend.
Yeah. It was
like, your bank was there to actually help.
Not your adversary.
Yeah, it was not what it is today.
Yeah.
I don't know. As soon as shareholders and all this other stuff got in the mix, I don't know. things got bad.
It's a weird moment right now.
But you actually love to see the guy that coming in with this, he's going to take your money and stamp your passbook and teach you how to save. But again, there are some countries, look at Germany, look at the savings rate. I wrote a whole piece on it. Mm-hmm. The countries that actually put savings first and financial education first, they're savers. And Germany's got a net surplus. Everybody hates the fact that they have a surplus in what they do because saving is part of their culture. Mm-hmm. They just, that's in ours is consumerism, right? Spending, living above our means. Mm-hmm. I think the next generations, the younger generations, are changing that a bit.
They are. I think that's true. Yeah, they're less in that mode.
They're less in that spending mode.
Yeah,
or at least they're careful on what they spend.
Yeah. They've seen their parents go through 2008, maybe lose their home. So I've
seen more of these kids shop thrift stores than I've.
Yeah.
My daughter's like, why do I want to go to a regular store? I go to a thrift store. I get. I mean, it's not just her.
It's a different mindset, though. It's surprising.
She saves almost everything she can.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of her, but it's that Gen Z, Gen Y have seen parents, friends lose jobs, money. Mm-hmm. That there is, and I wrote about it in my book in 2012. There is something called a Great Recession mindset, and that study that I indicated in the book has turned out to be true.
Yeah.
Just like there was a Great Depression mindset.
Yeah, and it may not be as prevalent as the Great Depression mindset, but it's there. I think it is a phenomenon. I mean, Rich is right. Yeah,
live smaller.
Yep.
Spend on experiences.
Yep.
There's some positive things. I think.
I
don't know how it affects the entire makeup of like GDP, what's going to go into GDP, if it wasn't for personal consumption expenditures, right? That's such a big part of it.
That's a big part of it, yeah.
Right? How do you measure that?
Right.
Now?
So now we're going to start saying these kids are bad for the economy.
Yeah, right. How dare you buy a little house with little furniture?
How dare you not go into debt?
Minimalism.
And spend.
Well, call me cynical, but what they'll do is they'll figure a way to tweak the formula so that shows up in a positive way.
Maybe that's true too. Yeah.
Well, you can measure. I think what countries measure GDP? They have a happiness. It's not here.
Oh, a happiness index?
Happiness index. Yeah.
I'm going to guess the Scandinavian countries, but I don't know.
I would. Just don't go on Facebook, man. There's no happiness there.
No.
Oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. People are angry. Angry.
Oh, it's awful.
It is awful. I mean, we all do need to sort of get along. And
have we reached peak social media? Maybe we have.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of our life here at work. We have to use it.
Well, it's just we get our stuff out there. I tell you, I really like Instagram. I might be dumb. But
I do too.
I think there's not as much negativity. I can control
a
lot of what I.
It's a happier medium. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of great photos.
And it's simple. It's just easy.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'll scroll through and I follow Tennessee, Colorado. So sometimes when I'm passing a billboard that says I'm too fat or I need a bunion removed, I'll see a nice picture of Telluride and go, there are places in this country without all these billboards.
Right.
And mattresses on the side of the road.
You have attractive friends on Instagram, so your feed is very nice.
It is. I got a lot of young country artists.
Oh, really?
Yeah, country music artists and so forth who I really like. Cool. So that's, So Instagram is positive.
Mm-hmm. Good.
That's all I got to say about social media. Although, you know what? Facebook is getting better as far as how you can manage your feeds.
Okay.
My feed's very short.
They've tweaked it a little bit.
So you don't maybe see so much of what everybody's putting out there.
I like the old Facebook when it was simpler.
Yeah.
I mean, wait, like 2-3 years iterations back, before they started messing with the algorithms.
Like what?
It was
give me one thing.
Just the way the feeds were managed.
I think it's more of the people you're not happy with, and not the algorithms.
It was the news. It was the news feed. Yes, I think that everybody has been all up in arms and angry at one another.
I don't get a lot of news anymore on my feed.
It's all junk anymore.
I used to get a lot of cool, funny stuff. I don't even get that anymore.
But we're glad that you're on our feed, or we're on your feed.
That's right.
So thanks for joining us this afternoon, Rich and
John.
Already? Yeah, we're done.
We're done.
Almost.
I don't even know what we talked about.
Let us hear back from you.
The Seinfeld podcast.
That's right.
Give us a topic, please.
Please.
We'll see you next week on the Underbelly Podcast. Have a good afternoon.